Happy New Year, Sunbeams 2. We are back at it and getting ready for masterclass for the end of January. And festival registration is the first week of February. So at this point in time, everything's moving forward. So we will move along as we are online and do the best that we can. So let's start with our song. And we're going to say it's 2021. When the sun peeks from behind the clouds, the sunbeams sing and play. We will be together when it's 2021. It is our music day. Then we'll see who's joining in the fun. Clap your hands and tap your toes. Keep time with everyone. When we join our hands and circle round, the sunbeams bring a smile. We will be together in our class and happy all the while. Then we'll see who's joining us today. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Sunbeams. We're all here to play. Okay, right hand, and we'll say hello to everyone. Hello, everyone. Make your fist. Let's do our scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. All right, so getting back into routine, we are going to continue with our G major scale with left-hand chords. And remember, you've got your F sharp and your 5/7. And then back down, okay? And let's see if we can get that done 3 times a day. Do not go any faster than what I just played it. If you're playing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that is just fine as well. But let's see if we can work at getting it more smooth and rhythmically thinking of where we're going. If we're thinking 1, 2, 3, then we're thinking, okay, I need to be ready to go by the time I get on beat 1 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and your fingers are thinking ahead of where you're moving. Okay, so G major scale. Then we are going to review notes. So we have our key signature for G major that has F sharp, and remember the F sharp makes Mr. Bass Clef's mustache, and our F line is our flying line. It's on the very top of the treble clef. So that's our key signature for G major. Then note-wise, we should be really good going from C, Mr. Bass Clef's vest, down in the middle. Middle line is D in the bass clef. E, we know F makes Mr. Bass Clef's nose or Mr. F Clef's nose. G, A, B, C is a treble clef note and a bass clef note. Then D, E, F, we know G. For the G clef, we could slide right in here. A, B in the middle. Middle line is B and C. So let's work with our tin sheets and work with our rhythms as far as knowing that our half note gets half note, 2 counts, quarter note, 1 count, great big whole note, 4 counts. TT is 1 count but 2 notes. So 1 and or TT is equal to ta or our quarter note. Okay, then we are going to make sure that we are back into our surprise packages. So you're working those at your own pace, and when you do these, I'm on W63 at the top, and this one has an F sharp and a C sharp, which is a little tricky, but you're starting with counting it out first. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 then you're going to look through and see what notes you're going to play and see what finger you're going to use. So you're going to start on finger 3 and you're going to stand still, go down to C sharp, stand still in there, and then your left hand is really interesting because it's staying on the very same note, and they don't care what finger you use, but on B, you're not going to move that left hand around. It rests here, but it plays the same note here and here. And finger 4, stand still, step up and back down. And if you look at the patterns, it should make it way easier. So once you've gone through all this, then you have one chance to play it with mom pointing as you go across, and then talk about how it went. And if it went great, fantastic. If it didn't go so well, what did you forget? What did you not remember? And it comes back to thinking ahead. You're standing still here, but you have to remember, oh, right, I need to have finger 2 ready to go to C sharp here. Okay? So those little finger numbers are important, especially when we get into black notes, because we want to have the right notes there to play them. So make sure you're doing one of these a day. And if you've done all of them, go back to the beginning, work through them again. And so our focus this week is going to be on masterclass and festival pieces. But we are going to look at K23. And so we have F sharp in our key signature. So we are in the key of G major. We have the term allegro. And allegro means we're going to play quick and lively. So it's fairly quickly. However, we're not going to play that after 1 week. That means by the time you were performance ready, that's where you would go. Right now, we're going to go nice and slow. And we have staccatos, those little dots underneath the notes and above the notes down here means that we're going to bounce off of the notes and make them detached. So I just want you to do line 1 and line 2. And when you work it detached, so you notice my hand wasn't coming way up. So it's a little bit of a wrist action, and it's not. It's go into the bottom of the key and think of it hot, 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 and you're going to bounce out and make it as detached as you can. So that's what we're working on with this. Then festival pieces we will look at when we meet together. And same with composition. We'll see where we are with those. And then if you could text me a time that works for you on either early Monday afternoon or early Thursday afternoon, then we could get together and start working on compositions. I want one class of us together, but I want us all to have our piece close to being done. We're just going to add some legato, staccato, dynamics, maybe change a few things as far as left hand or give some options. If you don't want to change them, that's perfectly fine. But we'll look at a few things like that when we get together, and we'll see whether your title matches what you are playing. If you're thinking that it is a rainy day and you're playing, we might think about maybe making it raindroppy more. But we'll talk about those type of things when we get together as a group, okay? Then we want to look at L18, line 1. Now this is a quarter note with a dot and an individual eighth note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So quarter note with a dot in this case gets 1 and 2, and the and comes on here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so I want you to write in the counting on line 1 and practice counting and clapping that one. And on L26, we are going to look at some dynamics. So F is for forte, which is loud. P is for piano, which is soft or quiet. we have a decrescendo or diminuendo. We need to know both those terms. And we have fortissimo, which is very loud. So what I want you to do in these spaces here, it says, listen to the dynamics your teacher plays and fill in the blanks. That's not what I want you to do in this page. I want you to find the dynamics that are in your masterclass piece. Put them in here. Make sure you know what they are, because the clinician for masterclass and the adjudicator for festival can ask you any of those things. So we want to make sure that we know all the information that's in our piece. Okay? All right, so I will clap something for you. Clap it again. We're going to clap it back together. Ready? Go. Good. All right, so with your rhythm bag, you can practice putting out that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and remember 2 is going to go under the dot on the 1 and 2. And then your and is not going to get your weak beat. Your weak beat comes under 1, so it's 1 and 2 is where your weak beat comes. So we'll have a look at that if we have time when we get together as well. Okay, looking forward to seeing all of you, and we'll say goodbye right now. So long, farewell, our music class is over. We sang a bit and played a bit, and now it's time to study it. 5 happy practices, and see you later in the week.